At some point, it stops being something internal. It stops being something you can feel. It stops being something that only you can explain. It becomes something that can be seen. Not in a loud way, not performative, just real. Because when a life is truly formed, and when a woman is truly walking with God, her life begins to produce. Up until now, God has been doing a deep work in you. He's formed you. He aligned you. He taught you how to hear him. He taught you how to obey him, and you responded. You didn't stay in confusion. You didn't keep going back and forth. You moved when he spoke. Then you learned how to walk that out consistently. You stopped striving. You stopped trying to figure everything out, and your life began to carry something. But now we've stepped into something even more visible, because what you carry begins to produce. This is where it becomes evident, not just in what you say, not just in what you believe, but in what your life actually reflects. Because the evidence is not in your intentions, it's your fruit. In Matthew 7:16, you will recognize them by their fruits. What your life produces shows how you respond under pressure, how consistent you really are, how aligned you've actually become. It shows up in your decisions, in your discipline, in your relationships, in how you carry yourself day to day. That is evidence. And this is important because fruit is not something you force. Fruit is the result of remaining. In John 15:5, I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. You didn't produce this by striving. You produced this by staying, by remaining with him, by continuing in obedience, by choosing alignment again and again. That's what produces fruit. And now your life begins to affect others, not because you're trying to, but because fruit feeds. What God is producing in you naturally begins to impact the people all around you. They see it, they feel it, they're influenced by it, not by your words alone, but by your life. And this is where truth becomes clear, because fruit cannot be faked. You can say the right things, you can present well, you can appear aligned, but fruit tells the truth. In Galatians 5:22-23, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, and patience. It shows up in how you respond, in how you handle pressure, in how you remain steady when things are not perfect. Fruit reveals what is real. And this is how God is glorified through your life. Not just by what you say, but by what your life produces. In John 15:8, by this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit. So now this season is not about striving. It's not about trying to prove anything. It's not about doing more. It's about remaining. It's about continuing. It's about allowing your life to keep producing what God has already started. Because at some point, it stops being something you're working on and it becomes something your life reflects. You're no longer trying to become. You're no longer trying to prove. Your life is producing quietly, consistently, naturally, because you remained with him, because you stayed aligned, because you obeyed when it mattered. And now your life is bearing fruit. You don't have to force it. You don't have to prove it. Your life already shows it, because you are the purposeful woman.